deck is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Change of pace in what we've been seeing so far. Not an aggro mage. You know, actually, when I play on ladder, like if you don't know your opponent, the typical thing to do is just to mulligan for aggro. So then, when you mulligan for aggro, and then when you end up playing against a control type of mage, you end up mulliganing incorrectly, and then having to play in a disadvantaged situation, and then you feel a bit sad. And now Godan, in this situation, if he didn't know that his opponent was playing this type of mage, then wow, I probably caught him off guard a little bit.
Man, both heal bots have gotten discounts. Sun Fury Protector's gotten a discount. I mean, this Emperor Thorson just being so generous with his discounts today.
We actually have some Nalgodan fans in the Twitch chat right now. We're on a delayed stream, so you guys won't hear this until later, but oh wow, Nalgodan bringing out his peeps to show the support. I like that.
Always gotta have the groupies with you. Gotta have the fan base to help you out.
That is esports. Making Hearthstone the #1 spectator sport.
That's right.
Better than League of Legends.
Right. Get out of here, League of Legends. Hearthstone's new. It's time for Hearthstone's reign in the spectator sport realm.
Okay, but now Godan was able to hold on for a little bit with his double heal bot, but it didn't seem like... it was a bit of a slow turn. Thorson again, still up.
Just ready to hand out all the discounts. Wants to give Tosca a perfect 0 mana cost hand. Fortunately, I don't think he's going to get there, but he's getting close.
I think Emperor Thorson this game edges out the Gadgets and Auctioneer in having the best deals anywhere.
It's true.
Wow. Alright, gonna silence the scientist over the Thorson. So, he's like...
I guess he figures at this point, you know what, it's given enough discounts.
It's like his opponent could just play his whole hand no matter what anyway. His cards are all probably at 0 already. It doesn't matter if they can't go lower than 0.
Right.
Yeah, that heal bot is almost at 0. So this Thorson's basically getting 5 turns of value. I've never seen that. Well, I have, but by then you've probably already won the game, usually.
Right.
Oh, and one of my friends just hit legend. Congratulations to him. Shoutouts to Connor. I actually don't even know him very well, but he gets a shout out.
You have a new competition in your legend ranks.
Yeah, there's like 3,000 of us by the end of the seasons. We're just people.
There's a ton of us by the end. It's just get muddled, lost in the crowd, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So it's top 100 or bust.
Right.
Top 10 or bust. You don't really get famous unless you consistently get top 10. It's pretty hard. Well, if there's one way for Nalgodan to come back in the value game, it's definitely through Jiraxis. Jiraxis is gonna be pumping out 6/6s every turn.
That hero power, pretty intimidating on Jiraxis, but he is down to 9 health. And Koska does have the dual anti-kill bots for very cheap to deal with any sort of face aggression as it stands.
Oh, hey, so I was actually right about this being the Molten Echo Mage. Finally drawing into his Molten Giant, though. So now we have it confirmed.
The Echo Molten Echo deck?
Yeah.
Pretty intimidating, but unfortunately now Godon says, yeah, you know what? Big Game Hunter does trip the duplicate, though.
You know what's interesting about this situation is that now Godon knows that both Flame Strikes have been used already, so... I mean, how does one contend with 6/6s being pumped out every turn without AoE?
Frost Nova and a lot of damage. Which
Right.
he does have both.
You know, the problem with this deck is that it doesn't, unlike the traditional Freeze Mage, it doesn't run the burn that you can use to just finish your opponent off just from hand. Like, this deck actually requires you to play Molten Giants and have them stick and then hit their face, which in this case is probably not going to stick.
Yeah.
I was just checking how many cards both players have, and they're actually both at 7, so as far as like the fatigue game is concerned, both pretty... Actually, so because Tosca drawing first here, he's actually going to be the one fatiguing first. So if it does come down to fatigue, Tosca's going to be at slight disadvantage.
No, those Infernals are beginning to mount. On Nalgodon's side, we may see some pretty aggressive pushes come out.
You know,
we may not get there to mill.
Yeah, you're right.
How shall I destroy?
I wonder if Nalgodon just goes ahead and siphons his own Ancient Watcher to get back health. I mean, it's pretty reasonable to do it at this point. Just, you know, put yourself out of, like, Fireball, Frostbolt range, but your opponent's probably not even running those, so... doesn't matter. Wow, and now the situation has been completely reversed. Now it's Nalgodon with the uncontrollable Emperor Thorson getting value every turn. That Twilight Drake is free.
It's true.
The Shadow Flame is free. Sylvanas Shadow Flame is gonna be free soon. Oh lordy lord. So, Nalgodon could write a guide on how to make an army of Dread Infernals. Oh wait, actually these aren't Dread Infernals, they're just regular Infernals. Wow, I didn't even... I really thought Nalgodon was done earlier, but now he's got Draxus out. I mean, god damn, he's actually looking pretty favored in this spot.
Yeah, he's managed to stabilize, stop the hemorrhage of bleeding that he was suffering early on in the match against Tosca, and he's actually turned it into a pretty, I mean, you know, 7 health against 19 health looks intimidating, but this is pretty much even, if not favoring Nalgodon at this point, given that he has 4 Infernals on the board.
Yeah. And once again, he chooses to not Siphon Soul one of his own minions, reading that his opponent does not run Fireball. Because, yeah, if his opponent were running Fireball, he'd be dead, but he's not. He's making the correct judgment here. I'm guessing he wants to save the Siphon Soul for one of his opponent's units, because it's pretty much... Then again, you do have an army of Dread Infernals, so no matter what your opponent plays, you just trade into them. I think that's probably the worst that could happen. I don't know. It's interesting.
Fortunately, Tosca drawing that Echo of Medivh, quite a powerful card. Usually when you draw it, Mage's happy to see it, but on this board, that I don't think you can Echo Medivh some tumbleweeds that are rolling through Tosca's board.
Healbot. I mean, his hand was full, so he had to play something, and I guess he figured that the Healbot is just probably, I mean, yeah, the only thing he could play in this spot.
Would you have Frost Nova 2 to delay that onslaught of Infernals?
Well, the thing is, you want your opponent to hit you, because, see, the ideal situation for Tosca here is that he plays Molten Giant and Frost Nova in the same turn. That's the dream. Because then, in that situation, he can potentially set his Molten Giant up to do the, you know, final strike. But, alright, I think Siphon Soul ready to come out here.
Considering it, you will do it. I'll take Siphon Soul onto that empty Healbot.
Nice. Back up to 9 HP. So he's got, you know, 9 turns of before he gets pinged to death by the mage. Oh, and there's a Frostbolt. Yeah, he was getting, before the Siphon Soul, he was getting ridiculously close to just being, you know, burnt out by spells. And alright, go ahead.
No, I was just going to remark to look at the discounts on Nalgwadon's side, given that all of his cards except for 2 now are free.
You know, I think this is going to beat the record for the longest single game that we've casted so far on Rusty Horn.
Yep,
that's insane.
Just fine.
All right, so actually, if you notice that turn,
runs out on me. I wonder.
Nalgwadon actually didn't make a Dread Infernal, or not Dread, just a regular Infernal. I keep thinking they're Dread Infernals, because like they're 6/6s. Anyway, he didn't make an Infernal that turn. Probably just worst case scenario, he's gonna want like a space to Argus, either a space to Argus or a space to drop the Sylvanas before Shadow Flaming the Sylvanas. So definitely really good, you know, forward planning by him. Wow, deciding that he no longer needs the Emperor. We don't need you anymore, Emperor Thorson.
You've given me so many discounts. You've discounted, what, 6 cards completely. 2 additional cards, a pretty deep discount. So, I mean, that's a pretty good Thorsan if I've ever seen one. Though it rivals Tosca's. So, really both of them coming out with pretty incredible Thorsans this turn.
Yeah, and usually you see like the first guy who gets the 5-turn Thorson value is going to win the game. But this is probably the only situation that I've ever seen where the first person getting the 5-turn Thorson is not winning the game yet. Well, we still don't know. It's not over. But I mean, it'd be crazy if Tosca gets a 5-turn Thorson first and just loses the game. I mean, wow.
It's really interesting to note Nalgwadon playing against that Molten Giant, given that he only attacked in with 1 Infernal that round. So he knows the risk either of the Ice Block, or it seems to communicate that he knows about the Molten Giant.
Yeah, he definitely does know about the Molten Giant because it was duplicated earlier. So he should know that Tosca's got at least 1 Molten Giant in hand. But yeah, he drew into his other one, so yeah, 2 Molten Giants in hand. But actually, okay, Mountain Giant coming out here. Alright, so that's exactly what I was talking about like a couple turns ago. The dream for Tosca is he gets out a Giant and he Frost Novas on the same turn.
Right.
Because, you know, it's one way to threaten to win the game, but at the same time, with Arguses in hand, and even 2 Sunfury Protectors, I mean, it's gonna be hard to get through.
My shield for Argus.
Yeah, it's a good thing, like you said, he planned for that contingency of having that slot open for the Argus Defender or even the Sunfury Protector. So having that wherewithal to not spam the board with Infernals so much and leave that spot open for a counter.
Right.
Really pushes this.
I mean, it's not like a 6th Inferno is gonna help him anyway.
Oh, there's Doomsayer. Frost Nova Doomsayer.
Oh, that could be a thing.
Shields up.
Choose to echo these ones. Still intimidating.
I like what I see here. So he goes ahead and echoes his Mountain Giant so he can play another Mountain Giant. And then Frost Novas again. So actually now... Wow, so okay. Now Godan doesn't have enough space to put another Taunt Giver. Oh, but you know what he can do? He can just Shadow Flame, actually.
He can.
He can just Shadow Flame Mortal Coil. Which would deal with one of the 8/8s. And then after Shadow Flame and Mortal Coil, you can just put up another Taunt. Or you could just do the Watcher instead as well. Oh, actually, okay, interesting thing though. He probably doesn't want a Mortal Coil to draw a card, because that would actually mill him faster.
Right.
Shields up.
Yeah, taunting up the 6/6s on the end. Does choose not to Mortal Coil. He's going to run out of cards. Pushing Tosca into fatigue range now, but he does draw the Alexstrasza. And there is no more stop for the Doomsayer, so we can't see a Frost Nova Doomsayer anymore. But he does have 2 Mountain Giants and a Sunfury Protector, or I'm sorry, 2 Molten Giants and a Sunfury Protector sitting in his hand.
Someone in Twitch chat saying, Estos Yankees son unos pajeros. I don't know what that means. I'm going to translate that.
No idea.
Well, I don't know. Okay, so I know what Estos Yankees... So they're referring to us as, you know, Yankees, Americans. I don't know what a pajero is. Urban Dictionary, pajero. Spanish slang word meaning he who fiddles with himself for sexual gratification. Ah. Okay, well then.
Shields up.
Alright. Well, that's good. That's I'm glad the Twitch chat is ever so vibrant tonight.
I'm out of cards.
Somebody's saying you look like Homer Simpson, I think. It says Stingo looks like Homer. I'm assuming Homer Simpson. That's...
Looks like Homer. Sure, we'll go with that. I'll color myself yellow for next roast.
Alright. Wow, both players are out of cards now.
Twitch chat called it, man. They called it Nalgredon going into mill, and they were certainly right.
Yeah, but given that Tosca's at healthy 24 here, well, it depends, because Tosca can't actually put him low enough to where the fatigue damage kills yet.
He does have Alexstrasza to boost himself back up, though, so ideally Nalgredon or Tosca, Nalgredon is going to submit to fatigue damage.
Oh, actually, never mind. Nalgredon wins the game. I actually was a little bit distracted, not paying attention, but boom, Boombot. He actually didn't even need the Boombot. He could have just won with fatigue. But wow, Nalgadon with that long grindy game takes the series up 2-0. So, wow. Showing some pretty good play here.
Yep.
I was not expecting him to win that game.
That would, in the beginning, had we hedged our bets on the first on the early game, yeah, definitely would not have predicted Nalgadon, especially to turn it into a mill game. I didn't even see that coming at all. But certainly did, and it paid off for him, winning in spectacular fashion with that boom bot there for the kill.
Yeah, definitely winning with a bit of style. Well, I give that a 10 out of 10 style. But wow, Jirax's power, man, Jirax's. I just still can't believe he came back from that game. But anyway, they're going into their third game. Taking a bit of extra time on the deck selection. Alright, we're getting into the third game, guys. We got the Nalgadon fans going crazy in the chat. Nalgadon now on his, looks like his patron warrior. Casca sticking with the Echo Molten Giant Mage. Should be fun.
Yeah, this deck had potential, but it fought up against a very aggressive mill Warlock there in the late game. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of difference you could turn around against this warrior deck.
Alright, so Nalgadon realizes his win condition here, it's actually, he can play this like a, like if he were playing a Freeze Mage, so he just has to armor up every turn, and he doesn't actually want to draw too many cards. I mean, he'll draw with his shield blocks because they give him armor, but he definitely probably won't use his Battle Rages aggressively.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Pass me that Arclight spanner.
Nalgadon bringing in all his fans on Twitch. Dang. It's literally just all Spanish spam right now. It's pretty cool. Anyway. On with this game, though. No Mission Mentor. Gonna challenge the Mad Scientist. The Mad Scientist is gonna hit him in the face, though. Chipping down the armor.
Sort of a nickel and dime approach. As much as you can to chip away at that armor. Like you said, Nalgadon probably going to build up that armor each turn, or as much as he can.
Ooh. Looks like Nalgadon's gonna Battle Rage for 0 cards, and you guys, this actually isn't a mistake. You're actually supposed to do that in this matchup. You want to be Battle Raging for 0 cards just to make space in your hand. Alright, he goes ahead and does it. Battle Rage for 0 and play the Acolyte. Seems... It's like, an interesting thing is that you actually want your opponent, it's like, when your opponent plays, you see your opponent playing their Acolyte, you actually want them to draw as many cards as possible, and then when you play your Acolyte, you actually don't want to draw cards off of it. So, like a typical spot for the Warrior in this case to be playing the Acolyte is after your opponent plays a Doomsayer, you drop an Acolyte, and you guarantee no draws on your Acolyte. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't really think about that as, you know, being the correct play, but it actually ends up being the correct play. He even coins out the hero power there. Damn.
Yeah, trying to make space, making sure no overdraws.
Mm-hmm.
Let the pain speak to me.
Alright. Playing the Acolyte here. Not bad. It's a 1-3 body. I mean, worst case scenario, it does 1 damage to your opponent's face every turn. Frostbolt coming out on the Acolyte. Alright. sticky situation for Nalga down here, because he doesn't actually really want to clear this giant, because if he clears it, his opponent's just going to get 2 more of them. And you can probably just play them both next turn. So basically, if you kill this giant, you're actually making your situation worse. Which, you know, is counterintuitive, but...
Right. So, in your opinion, do you give the favor to Nalgudon here, given that we've seen 2 battle rages for 0, seen pretty smart acolyte plays and everything like that? Are you favoring Nalgudon at this point?
Well, the problem is that there's gonna be a mountain giant hitting him in the face for 8 every turn. Well, now there's gonna be 2, and also you can't actually kill the mountain giant because then your opponent will just get 2 more. And well played coming out from Nalgudon. He's like, oh my god, I can't actually win this game from here, can I? Because A, that's an ice block. So like, even if you try to combo him with your frothing berserkers, you're not going to win the game.
What now?
And yeah, so no matter what approach you take, you're pretty screwed.
Let the pain speak to me.
Execute onto one of these giants.
I mean, I guess you have to, but Nalgudon in a desperate situation here, just actually gonna try to draw multiple cards from his acolyte, just so they can, you know, draw into yeah. I think that his best chance is to just be aggressive now. He's actually in a situation where he's forced to try to kill his opponent.
Is too full.
Oh, that is so huge right there. Did you see that?
Damn,
Tosca.
it's off an ice block.
Yeah, he milled the second ice block. Holy cow, that is huge. Because if he can pop the first ice block and then set up for another round with the frothing berserker, so he's actually going to need 2 Warsong commanders to do this, but if he can do it, he actually can win the game. But he's got to act fast.
Right, time. The clock is ticking.
Okay, actually, never. I changed my mind. I don't think he can actually win the game. These mountain giants are a little too putting a bit too much pressure right now. Oh boy.
What now?
Charge
I think chat just got up to our translate fiasco there. Figure out the wonderful compliment.
So here we go. Realizes that he's got to use this to try to win here. No choice. Is that even? That's not even quite enough to pop the ice block. It doesn't even finish his turn. Actually, it doesn't get the attack off, and yep, feels bad, man.
Ooh, 18 damage Frothing Berserker pinged off with a hero power.
Wow, now that I think about it, this deck is actually pretty good against Patron. I really like the Mountain Giant Tekken. Like, I usually don't see a Mountain Giant in those decks. They usually run like Twilight Drakes, but wow, damn. That was pretty nuts. But, well, at least it won't be a complete blowout like last series. This time around, Tosca's gonna fight back a little bit here. Putting the series at 1-2.
versus
Yep.
Gul'dan.
Tosca gonna bring it back. Nalgwadon having that breathing room. We've talked about it before. Up 2-0 in a series in a best of 5, you know you have at least some room to allow for maybe a botched game, but obviously not. You don't want to give your opponent too many wins.
And so, like, Nalgwadon, he put himself in a situation where Patron was his last deck that he has to win with. So, if you're in a situation where you need to win only 1 in 3 games as Patron, you're pretty happy, because it's pretty hard to not win with Patron out of 3 games, you know. But yeah, in this spot, definitely. I like Nalgwadon's chances a little bit better.
Mistress of Pain Warlock coming out from Tosca. Interesting tech choice there.
I can ease your pain.
Ooh. Indeed. So I'm actually not quite familiar with what kind of deck Tosca's running. I don't see this much on ladder very much.
Stop yelling!
Alright, this Death Spike gonna get pretty good value here. We're gonna be able to kill the Imp King boss as well as the Mistress of Pain. I wonder if he just goes ahead and makes 2 patrons here. If he draws Inner Rage, that's the dream. Alright. That's not an Inner Rage. He might just save it for next turn when he can make 4 patrons. Then again, if you save it to where you can make 4 patrons versus Warlock, you're bound to get Hellfire. Alright. Just gonna be happy with 2 here.
The Emperor himself making his debut once more. And grant some pretty good discounts to Tosca. But not sure if that's those are all the cards you want discounts on.
It's okay. I see what Tosca is running. He is running the what's it called? The Arcane Golem into Powerwhelming into Faceless Manipulator combo. Gonna get some pretty good whirlwind value here. Like where this is going. 3 patrons still on board. And, whoa, is that a top deck Hellfire? That is indeed a top deck Hellfire.
Certainly seems that way. Yep, going to nuke out these 3 patrons. Take out an Armor Smith as collateral damage as well.
Somebody's saying that the casters are pretty decent. Aw, love you too, man.
Pretty decent. The best compliment I've ever received.
Yeah, me too. Holy shit. I mean, at least they're not calling us trash. That'd be
That's
pretty-
true. That's true. At least we're not trash. Better than trash tier, boys. Success.
Ooh. This Belcher is gonna be a bit of a problem. Not a very efficient way of dealing with it. Just gonna swing at it and... Alright, Unstable Goal would deal with the second half of the Belcher. Alright, decides not to play. I think the Whirlwind effect is a bit too valuable here. So you want to save it to combo with a Frothing Berserker.
Which he does have in hand. So building more of the combo. He does have Inner Rage as well. Warsong Commander. And None of the whirlwinds or anything like that. Does have one charge left on the axe.
Well, actually, you know what though? Look at Tusko's hand. He actually has all the combo pieces. He's got the Arcane Golem. He's got a Power Overwhelming, an Abusive, and a Faceless. So if he pulls that all off, that is gonna be a 20 damage combo. So basically, all he has to do is put Nalgadon to about 20 health, and he does that, and he has a chance to win the game.
By the power of Ragnaros, I have the power!
Dark Bomb. Is that it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, not enough. Needs it next turn.
Well, no. I think he has lethal. Because
the combo right now?
Yeah, that's 20, that's 23, that's 26, 29. He has 31 damage. Right?
Does he have enough mana to do it, though?
I think so. He should. Arcane Golem Power Roaming, right? That's gonna be 2 mana, 3 mana, 8 mana. Oh, no. He was 1 mana off. Never mind. Okay. Never mind. You're right. But, I mean, next turn for sure, though. He's like, I have lethal next turn. I'm not even going to bother killing the Emperor Thorson.
Right.
Oh my gosh. That is actually...
your discount all you want.
That is very risky, because I think Nalgadon counter lethals here. Oh my... Dude, no. Nalgadon's going to counter lethal. Oh, the X... Dude, this is counter lethal. Oh my god, Nalgadon. Oh...
Thirsty.
Holy shit. Excuse my language, but wow.
Worthy in this moment.
I am very certain this is counter lethal. I mean, I think even if Tosca clears out the Emperor Thorson, I think it still would have been lethal, because you got especially with the Execute top deck, like you get 3 whirlwind effects on your Frothing Berserker. That's gonna be an easy like 30 damage. Like that's wow.
Yep, that's it. GG boys.
Wow.
Fans, no doubt, are going crazy in chat. Pushing Nalgadon gonna take the series 3-1 against Token.
And there you have it, Patron showing why it is OP.
That's right.
Wow, that was a really fun game. That was a really fun series. Like that series really, I think that's one of the best series that I think we've casted so far on Rusty Horn. I mean, I wasn't even expecting a lot of it. There were a lot of surprises for me, and I mean, I grind Legend like every day, and I don't see those kind of exciting games.
Well, it's going to be interesting now that we have both forces meeting in the middle, Kuhaku versus Nalgadon.
Oh, indeed. We have our finalists. I don't know if they're ready to play yet. I'm gonna go into a quick little intermission. So we be back in like a minute just to make sure like the players are ready and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll be back soon. Alright, and we are back with the finals of the Rusty Horn this week. The first Rusty Horn where we have WCS points. I mean, I'm pretty happy that we got them. I mean, the competition today has been like so much more awesome than it has been in previous weeks. I'm super excited.
Definitely. Definitely a good showing today on the Rusty Horn. Number 11. Been going strong for quite a few weeks now. Only getting stronger.
I can't wait to see what happens like in the future weeks. I mean, like we started like a couple months ago, and I mean, yeah, we're getting to the point where like we're attracting some pretty big names to our tournaments now, so I'm pretty happy about that. Nalgudan being one of them, like he's got a huge fan base, like holy cow.
Sure.
All right, and we're jumping back. We're jumping back into the mix now. With Nalgudan versus Kuhaku, the finals, Rusty Horn, number 11. Let's do this.
First up, Rogue versus Warlock. We're going to see the Mill Lock coming out of Nalgudan again against this Oil Rogue from Kuhaku.
Mm-hmm. So Kuhaku, yeah, so we did see the Assassin's Blade earlier, and it also, since he is running Assassin's Blade, it does make sense to run the Tinker Sharps, or not, the, what's it called? Goblin Auto Barber, that's what they're called. Goblin Auto Barber.
Yeah, not going to, both players going to mulligan a pretty severe chunk of their hand. Kuhaku going to mulligan everything away.
I greet you.
Gonna look for a more aggressive start tonight against this this Mill Warlock Nalgudan's bringing to the board in game number 1.
So we have the first major play of the game. Nalgudan sends his greetings. I think that puts him in a huge tempo lead, actually.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong turn 0 play to send out the greetings.
Yeah, I'm a huge
No
fan.
response from Kuhaku. Abstaining, not going to play on curve with a fellow greeting or even a taunt.
Gonna get the most out of his dagger though. Getting the 2 hits in while he can there. Really skilled rogue players will typically try to get in. If you don't have a turn 3 play, you'll typically get those 2 hits in. But alright, Nalgudan draws into his first main threat. Sorry, excuse me. The Twilight Drake.
Pay attention, class.
I am ready to learn.
Alright, 2 options here. You can play the Drake, or you can play the Giant. Not so clear which one, though.
A 410 Drake's pretty intimidating against possibly an Oil Rogue with no silence. So.
Alright, so that's actually... I like this because it means that next turn when he has 5 mana, he can play the Mountain Giant for 3 and then a Sun Fury Protector.
I am ready to learn.
Alright. Woo, the ooze. So that's what I was talking about earlier, right? So you get your opponent, you bait out the early weapon removal from your opponent on your deadly poison, and then you surprise them with your Assassin's Blade into double tinker on your Assassin's Blade. That's assuming if he draws the Assassin's Blade. If he doesn't draw the Assassin's Blade, then obviously this is pretty strong.
Right. Gonna run out one Tinkerer onto the dagger.
Right. Just saw the ooze come out, so definitely feeling safe that he could just hold on to that dagger forever.
I wonder.
Probably the teacher's done pretty well coming out on turn 4, granting 2 students, and done pretty well for a turn 4 play. Didn't expect it to stay around this long.
Mm-hmm.
But
Looks like trade Dark Bomb. Oh, okay, trade Hellfire actually. Probably a little bit better, and then Sun Fury. That way he can clear out all the 1/1s, and this pushes a lot of damage to face.
definitely.
Ooh, there's the Assassin's Blade, but I think it's a bit slow in this situation. Gonna have to use his South Sea to clear the board there. Unfortunately, most of the weapon buffs have already been used, so we're not gonna see the 10 attack Assassin's Blade that we saw the other game.
Right. Quite unfortunate, but understandable given Kuhaku's circumstances this game versus the last game.
Yeah, it had to be done. The handlock got pretty good draws early on. Getting the Drake into the Giant, usually really huge. Now it's really interesting to see what Nalgodan goes with here. Alright, looks like tap Healbot is the way to go.
Healbot going to come out from Kuhaku as well.
Healbot's on both sides. What Kuhaku really needs right now is a Blade Flurry.
Definitely.
Right, this actually sets up... I mean, if Kuhaku doesn't heal here, then his opponent has lethal with the double Dark Bomb.
Right. I think that was the consideration he had there in the hang-up of playing that heal or not.
Indeed.
This guy's toast.
SI to the face, asserting his dominance. Twilight Drake. Wonder if he's gonna coin out the Belcher or just Dark Bomb away the 3/3s.
Looks like he's favoring Coin Belcher at this point.
No, alright, goes with Dark Bomb. I think he doesn't want the Belcher to get flurried down. So, I mean, this is probably a big enough board for him to want to flurry. Then he'll just play the Belcher after the flurry. I mean, I think that's what he's thinking.
Ooh, and an Auto Barber.
Right, so Kuhaku does have a clear here with a Backstab Flurry. But he's going to Backstab Flurry this, and then he's going to be really sad when the Belcher comes down. Well, the Belcher can be sapped, but...
Oh man, 1 damage off. Could have auto barbered blade flurried on prep, but 1 damage off of lethal with that one.
You soon. So many options.
Really tough end of the turn here. Really understand why he's roping. Wow, okay. Gonna just not flurry here. I mean, at this point he just sprinted, so now Gudan's gotta be suspicious that he does have the flurry in hand. But Kuhaku is just gonna decide that he wants to be a little bit greedier, which perfectly understandable.
Understandable, but it might have cost him, given that the second anti-killbot has now come out for Nalgadon.
Well, I mean, I kind of like what Nalgadon's doing here. He's saving his Belcher for after the flurry, which a lot of players, they might have just played the Belcher last turn, but this is definitely, in my opinion, a little bit better than that. And there we go, backstab flurry, and I imagine he's gonna play his SI agent. Okay, prep flurry actually. Oh, okay, okay. He's gonna put the auto barber on, and he's gonna drop the SI7 agent. So he's like, screw this. We're not playing around Moltons. We have a sap and an eviscerate.
Right.
So, actually, in this situation, wow. I mean, I guess the best play is Belcher Dark Bomb, but then you just get sapped, and then you lose the game, and you feel bad.
I wonder.
But yeah, like I said earlier, the ooze coming down on that deadly poison dagger, then not able to use the ooze on the dagger when it became a 7 attack dagger, which obviously that would have been, you know, much better dagger to ooze off. Wasn't able to, and then even after the 7 attack dagger got furred away, here comes the even more threatening Assassin's Blade. I mean, that just goes to show that even with people running tons of weapon removal, like, it's still, you know, not a bad play to, or not a bad idea to include the Assassin's Blade. And the well played coming out. Yeah, Kuhaku, wow. I really like the way he played this game. Nalgudan, I think Nalgudan played very well as well, but just using his ooze a bit too soon. And getting torn by that huge flurry.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting dance to see, to watch Nalgadon play against the Blade Flurry, sorry, and then the again on the same part, Kuhaku, you know, realizing the Belcher was certainly a possibility. So an interesting dance we saw there between Kuhaku and Nalgadon. Both opponents reading each other fairly well. So it makes me wonder what's going to happen in these future games of the series.
Right, and now Kuhaku's got his rogue out of the way. He still has his mage left.
You asked for
Speaking of which, he just cues directly to his mage.
Again, the ESP is strong with Estro tonight. Calling plays, calling classes. All over the place.
I don't know, I just kind of made a random guess.
Yeah, but they don't have to know that. You can tell them the other.
Yeah, Kuhaku on his... Actually, so the first time we saw it, I wasn't sure what type of list it was. Because Like, at first I thought it was mech, but it ended up being tempo. And it happens to run pilot sky golems. So yeah, that's a thing.
The straight 2 draws for Nalgadon, drawing nothing but 2s across his hand.
Yeah, he's probably just gonna end up coining a 2 here. Or actually, no, oh, I'm wrong. See, I wasn't correct this time. He actually coins out the slam, decides that cycling the slam is gonna be a lot more important than developing one of his armor smiths or the unstable goal. Denying his opponent the immediate frostbolt or flame cannon value.
Armor made to fit.
Alright. Armor Smith coming out. I imagine this is gonna... Whoa, that is an amazing draw. So, Sorcerer's Apprentice Flame Cannon wrecks this Armor Smith right here. Alright, goes for it.
Fireworks gonna make quick work of that Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Decides to hold on to his Execute. Doesn't want to use it on a Mana Wraith just yet. Probably a wise decision. Because it is a 2-1, but not executing this, it's probably going to do like at least another 4 damage to you. Is the problem though. What you want. Alright. Unstable Goal gonna come out. It's gonna cock block these 2/2 and 2/1 minions pretty well.
Yep, unfortunately, the Frostwolf Grunt not going to be able to do much against this unstable ghoul. Same for the Mana Worm.
Alright. Gonna Frostbolt the Armor Smith first, just to ensure that it dies after the Whirlwind effect. And actually, okay, so that's the interesting about Kuhaku's list. So at first it appears like a Tempo Mage, but then you have the mechs, the Fell Reavers, and the Pilot Sky Golems as well. It's like typically mech mages, they don't run Sorcerer's Apprentice, but Kuhaku does, and he also runs Water Elemental, so it's like a total surprise. So it's a bag of surprises is what it is.
Definitely. Never know what you can get in it. And that shows kind of Kuhaku's reasoning is pretty sound there, because you're playing this amalgamation of cards, right? And so the opponent can say, oh, it's a mech mage, I know how to counter that. But then he plays a Water Elemental. It's like, oh, well,
whoops.
wasn't planning on that.
Well, actually, so remember when we talked about Nalgadon saving the Execute earlier? Definitely paying off now. Gonna be able to get a ton of mill value from the Fell Reaver, and then gonna just execute it right off. I mean, that is huge. He actually could have even interraged his own Acolyte of Pain to get an extra draw, and also to mill another 3 cards. But he decided not to.
Pass me that Arclight's banner.
Draws with a Gnomage first. I wonder if this Water Elemental is worth the Execute.
Pretty intimidating. And, I believe Nalgadon says, yes, it is worth the Execute. Gonna take it out.
Ooh, but now, what's he gonna do about the Ragnaros, though?
Right. Both Executes now have been busted. Ragnarok's gonna come out on curve. Kuhaku says, oh, well, you got 2 Executes? Well, I got a Ragnarok. Take it to the face.
Ragnaros, #1 sniper. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's really much you can do here. Alright, he's just gonna play the Tempo Warsong Commander, I guess. Is he gonna drop the Unstable Glow as well, though? No, just armor up. Just to give the Ragnaros an extra target. Doesn't want to take it to the face too much. Let's see where these arcane missiles land. All the arcane missiles I've seen today have been on point. This one, not so much.
Not so much. That's okay though. Still setting up for some pretty good damage. Firebolt to the face. Fire blast. Sets up for lethal. If Ragnaros is the sniper Astro claims he is.
Indeed.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Now, Gnomish Inventor says bye-bye Ragnaros. Got a little distracted there.
The benefit is that at least the Warsong survived. I mean, he could play another Tempo Warsong, as bad as that might be, but...
Well, given the hand that you're facing with 2 Whirlwinds, 2 Inner Rages, and an Unstable Ghoul, a Tempo Warsong is probably the least bad play you can make.
I really like Unstable Ghoul here. Well, I think better than playing Thorson, like you gotta just spam the board. Because if you don't spam the board, Ragnaros is gonna hit your face more often, and then you're gonna die.
It's true. Guaku sort of hedged all of his bets on this Ragnaros. Pretty good bet to take. Nothing but face to hit here. Gonna put Nalgadon back down to health.
Does Nalgadon have a chance if he gets a Frothing Berserker? That is the Frothing Berserker.
What was a Frothing Berserker?
I don't think that's lethal though. I think I don't think this is 24 damage. I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I don't think there's any way. That's only gonna be plus 10, and then plus another 3. So it's only gonna be 15 damage. Oh, actually, it's even gonna be less than 15 damage because the Mana Worm dies.
Not enough. Guess you do develop the board to hide from the Ragnaros Fireballs, though.
Okay, double Inner Rage on the Sky Golem. Using the Inner Rages as removal here. Maybe. Okay, that's no good.
Well,
Oh, good. Nalgadon surrenders game number 2 to Guaku, up 2-0 in this final series.
Right. That was pretty well played by Kuhaku there. His deck is full of surprises. I mean, because it's not fully mech mage, but it's not fully tempo mage. It's got elements of both and water elementals that happen to bid out the executes so that he doesn't execute your Ragnaros. I mean, that's just crazy.
you asked for it.
I love his deck. Alright, so... No, actually, okay, Kuhaku... Actually, that's game number 3. Kuhaku takes a 2-1 lead. He did win with the Rogue first.
Oh, you're right.
No, wait.
Oh, it's only 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0, 2-0, never mind. You are correct, 2-0.
Yeah. 2-0. It's late, guys. You have to forgive us, chat.
Yeah, it's really
We're
late.
a bit late for us tonight.
We usually don't go this late, but we had a pretty huge delay in the brackets. But yeah, oh, whoa. I remember now. So yeah, Kuhaku's last class is indeed
A Fell Reaver Druid.
the Fell Reaver Druid. And I don't remember what happened. Okay, the last time we saw it, he ended up getting the coin Thorson into the boom into the double roar. Okay, I remember that now.
Yep, that was quite a stunning way to finish off that round. Kohaku said, "Force of nature, your savage roar. Just give me 2 savage roars, please."
Powering up. Portals online.
Hello, hello, hello. Pretty strong start from Nalgo down here. Kohaku's hand's a bit clunky because he's got 4 5-drops in his hand. And he didn't have a wild growth, so it always sucks with the druid when you don't have a wild growth.
Right. And pretty, especially unfavorable given the aggressive mech opening from Nalgwadon. You know, Mech Warper, Cogmaster, Annoyatron is what you want to start out by turn 3.
Yeah, that's a lot of early pressure here. What does Kohaku even do about this? Coin Shredder? I mean, the problem with coining Shredder is that because he coins Shredder, he can't coin a 5-drop into a 5-drop, which means that unless he top decks a 4-drop, he's gonna have a really slow next turn. But this is probably still the best play. I did feel a little bit tingle. You could just cash in the Divine Shield value here. I think he elects to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what would be amazing for Kohaku here?
Mm.
MC Tech.
Mm. It is true.
MC Tech would be pretty insane here. But nope, doesn't have it. Drew into a Wrath though, which is indeed very useful here. He's actually got quite a few potential targets. I mean, on one hand, he could Wrath the Mech Warper. Alright, he just the Mech Warper. Oh no, okay. Druid glitch no longer exists, thank God.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
So nice. So he could have also Wrathed the Annoyatron. That way he could punch through to the Clockwork Gnome, which would have eliminated 2 units instead of versus eliminating 1.
Uh-oh. The ever-intimidating Goblin Blast Mage makes his way into Nalgwadon's hand.
Yeah, definitely gonna save the Blast Mage for when his opponent plays the turn 5 minion. I mean, I think some people might make the mistake of just playing the Blast Mage instead of the Lotheb, but definitely you get a lot more value from Blast Mage when you can target minions with it. So here, like, Kohaku's probably has to just. I don't want to say has to, because if he plays the Druid of the Claw, he's probably gonna get wrecked. So it might be better to forego the taunt and just play Lotheb, or even Fell Reaper. Ooh, it is a sad day to be Kohaku right now. Then again, he does have 3 chances to win with his Druid, which is also a pretty reasonable spot. I'm actually surprised that Kohaku did not bring a Patron list. Most OP deck, and he makes it to the finals without bringing it, so goes to show you don't need to play Patron to make it far in tournaments.
Definitely.
gonna elect to preserve his whole board. He could have played Blast Mage, but fireballing there definitely got max value out of Fireball, and also it means that his whole board stays healthy.
I concede.
And the concede coming out from Kuaku.
Understandable. That match was a bit rough, drawing the opening hand for Kuaku, not what he wanted to see, and just lent itself into a poor mid game.
Yeah, I'd say that if the Mech Mage gets that good of a start, I mean, they're just gonna face roll the Druid. No way around it.
I must protect the one.
Alright, but now I think Druid has pretty good chances against Patron, especially we see that Kuhaku has the Harrison Jones in his opening mulligan. I assume he's probably just going to keep it. Yeah, it definitely keeps it.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to mulligan away a Harrison, given what you've seen from Nalgwidan so far.
Right, I mean, pretty much against Patron Warrior, you really gotta deny them from getting their patrons on 5. So usually the patron will set up their Despite on turn 4, and if you can Harrison that right away, you're just in a really good spot. Some people argue about not hitting there to deny Battle Rage value. Some people argue that hitting with the Druid to the face is always correct, because the 1 damage could matter later on.
Right.
Versus,
what are you in favor of, Astro? Do you hit there? Is Battle Rage that threatening to you, or do you think?
Well, in this situation, because he didn't have a turn 3 play, he was gonna hero power twice, and if you get in 2 hits, it's probably worth it. If you know you're gonna hit twice, it's probably worth it. If you have a turn 3 play and you would only get 1 hit in, I mean, might not be worth it. But Kuhaku is gonna be able to play out a Shredder on 4, which is nice. Or he can choose to silences as well. Both are very reasonable. I think silencing this is... Actually, no, I'll take that. I think I prefer silencing this a little bit better. I think that the way you shut down a patron is by not letting him draw cards from his Acolyte. Oh, so actually, forget that. No silence, no Shredder, just a swipe. Whoa, Despite though. I'm not gonna equip it, obviously. No reason to. Just gonna cycle the shield block. And swing with the War Axe. Might as well get in the War Axe hits before you cycle over to your Deathspites soon.
Right.
I see.
I remember back in the day, before Patron Warrior, you'd be pretty okay with Harrisoning a 1-charge War Axe. Not anymore. These days, you can never Harrison the War Axe. If you Harrison the War Axe, you probably just lose the game.
Right. Scoff at Harrisoning the War Axe now.
Well, he can clear the Ghoul and Shredder hero power. Actually, even a Wild Growth. Okay, he decides to Wild Growth instead of hero powering, which I do like because gives him the option of playing Ragnaros or Boom if that suits his fancy. Also means that if he draws into the Savage Roar, he can play it sooner. And here comes Santa Claus.
Giving out all the gifts of discounted mana cards. Coming to a Christmas tree near you.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty tough turn for Kohaku here. Well, maybe not so tough. Rag and hit face. I mean, it's kind of risky because if the Ragnaros doesn't hit face, you risk giving the Patron Warrior another round of discounts. And yeah, that's going to be another round of discounts for Patron Warrior. I mean, I don't think it's lethal just yet. Or is it? No, I don't think so. Yeah, there's no way this is lethal, right? He's got only one Whirlwind. Slam Execute, definitely the better play here. Double Slam. Oh, he could actually just Inner Rage to the Shredder there. That's interesting.
Pretty unique way to deal with the board. A lot of cards in that. But...
And he gets a Step of Despite too. And he gets another round of reductions. I mean, damn. I think the Ragnaros missing on the Thorson probably swings the game in favor of Nalgadan. I mean, the Harrison is most likely just gonna come out here. But how does he even deal with the... Okay, swipe, never mind. It's Harrison swipe.
That's how.
That is how.
Charge forward! The blade be thirsty.
It's not lethal, I don't think, but it is gonna be able to... Actually, no, he can't Battle Rage. Alright. That makes a lot of sense, actually. So he is gonna be able to Battle Rage, but he wasn't gonna be able to Patron Battle Rage, but he is able to Gnomish Fitter Battle Rage. And this gives him, you know, the card refill that he needs. But also, now Kohaku's forced to deal with a 8-3 Frothing Berserker. Unfortunately, I think Kohaku earlier was trying to set himself up for where Force Roar could win the game, but unfortunately for him, Nalgadan's at 19 right now, so Force Roar doesn't cut it. I think he might just have to use one of the Force of Natures to clear the board. He could either do that or Keeper of the Grove and then charge the Drew of the Claw into the belt, into the... Looks like the Keeper play is happening. It's a little bit better because it's a bit more active. Or, okay, never mind. Force of Nature, all the way.
The allure of the Force Savage is just too great sometimes.
Yeah, okay, he's gonna do this pretty efficiently though. So, he's gonna be able to push 8 damage to the face while clearing everything. So, as soon as he top decks his other Savage Roar, he wins the game.
Armor made to fit.
Let the pain speak to me.
Been a pretty back and forth battle here between Nalgadan and Kohaku this time. Sort of unfavorably for Nalgadan starting, but it's beginning to peter back out into his favor. as he's lasted through this battle of attrition, which we've seen Nalgwadon do time and time again tonight.
Yeah. Actually, so Nalgwadon wins the game if he can find his second War Song. So he's got 6 cards left. As long as he can find his second War Song. If he can find it next turn, and he doesn't die this turn, he can win the game. Ooh, the MC Tech draw here. Only 3 minions. Not gonna take into effect. Once again, Kuhaku in a tough spot here.
What to do?
Nalgwadon holding on, battling, clawing, biting his way, holding on to this series. He says, you know what, 2-0, not that intimidating. I'm going to start working my way up the mountain, climbing back up that uphill battle.
Waits for no one.
Yeah, you know, Patron Warriors, one of those decks that, I mean, usually in any given tournament series, it's usually like a pretty guaranteed win almost. I mean, in a best of 5, you're guaranteed to win at least one league. And he does find his Warsong Commander. I think this should be pretty close to lethal.
Charge forward!
Oh, actually,
Play.
if he had set up his other Deathbite, it definitely would have been. But this allows him to get a lot of armor and also clear the board. So it's not quite lethal, but it sets up for it next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And Nalgwadon even...
Engaging TC-130 mental dislocator.
He's out of... wow, he steals the worst target too. he's out of, you know, force of combo range. But, ooh. Well, no, actually, the Armor Smith is actually not that bad here. No, it's kind of bad because this Patron will multiply off of it.
Right. I was just going to say, 1 attack minion, that's kind of bad against the Patron.
It's true.
But, it, you know.
Blade be thirsty.
Oh, no, but there's no way. So, Kuhaku does not have any more combos. So, even if he could draw a combo, he still wouldn't even win the game here. Full board clear by Nalgwadon, sets up his Deathbite, and yeah, it just has more than enough damage.
Yeah. No swipes, no answers, no silences.
I concede.
Punching the Armor Smith and conceding. I really like the fact that he punched the Armor Smith first. It's like he had all the rage, and he wanted to beat a grill. Actually,
Right.
I shouldn't say that. That's terrible. Never mind. Ignore me. I didn't say that.
He wanted to punch a wall, right?
Don't punch your grills.
He wanted to take his rage out on the wall. It was a metaphorical
Oh yeah, metaphorical wall, totally.
fist at the wall, kind of angry.
Soul shall be mine.
Got a pent up, you got all your feelings pent up now. You're in the finals of the tournament. You've battled so long to get here. Just all these emotions running wild.
Yeah, I mean, they're battling out for 10 HSWC points and $30, both of which, pretty good. $30 not bad. You can do a lot with it. Not that much. You could buy 30 cheeseburgers.
I mean, 30 cheeseburgers is pretty good.
Yeah, it's true. But anyway, this is well, Kuhaku took a commanding 2-0 lead, but Nalgwadon's equalized it, and so we're basically at match point here. 2-2 both sides. Druid versus Handlock. One of the classics. One of the classic matchups. And
My thanks.
the coin Wild Growth, Nalgudan's like, well played. I'm so fucked.
Nalgadon has held on throughout this entire series. I mean, losing 2-0 initially, or 0-2 to Kuhaku, but finding everything, all of the momentum, reversing it, and just pulling it back in his favor, and taking it now down, like you said, to the classic match of Handlock versus Druid.
Yeah, and it's one of those matchups that like some people will argue for which side is favored. I think both have equal chances. So like for the Handlock, obviously you want to draw into your Mountain Giants and your Drakes, and in this situation, Nalgudan did find a Mountain Giant. And Kuhaku found his Wild Growth. But Kuhaku's hand is sort of fizzling out a little bit here because it's basically just Ragnaros and 3 spells. So he definitely wants to have some minion follow-up. Ooh, second Wild Growth not gonna help.
Second Wild Growth definitely is not some minion follow-up that you want.
Yeah, so like what does he even do here? Just Wild Growth again? Aim to play as Ragnaros next turn, I guess.
Right, yeah.
It's hard to calculate like which line has the best chance of winning here, because he could just totally YOLO it. Like, he could just Wild Growth, Savage Roar, everything go face, and even if your opponent plays Molten Giants, you just play Ragnaros and hope your Ragnaros hits him in the face.
Right.
Which is a pretty YOLO play, but it might work some of the
It's a YOLO
time.
play, and Ragnaros hasn't been the sniper tonight for Kuhaku, so...
Yeah. Alright, he goes for the non-YOLO play. He just uses his spells on the Mountain Giant, trades up with the Divine Shield, doesn't hit face to play around Moltens. Alright, fair enough.
I have no time for games.
You know, the funny thing here is that I think a second Savage Roar draw would have been lethal.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not crazy, am I?
Well, let's see. We have 2...
It's 5 plus 6 plus 6. Yeah. 17. Yeah, that would have been lethal.
It's alright though. A substitution for lethal is a pretty prominent Fel Reaver. So you know, not lethal, but still pretty intimidating.
I don't know if the Fel Reaver is actually too safe to play here, because I actually, okay, what are the plays here? Oh, you know what would be insane? Shadow Flame right now. Shadow Flame would be quite the insane draw for Nalgudan. Alright.
Get it.
Not a Shadow Flame, but he could put himself in a position to steal a pretty good minion. He could actually steal the Fel Reaver some of the time. Like, if he Siphon Souls his own Sylvanas, he has a 50% chance of stealing Fel Reaver.
True.
So, I mean, definitely an option. Or he could just do the Ancient Watcher plus Sunfury Protector. That also works. Or Argus.
My shield for Argus.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see what cards are lost to the Fel Reaver anymore, thanks to the new patch. I would have liked to see.
Yeah, that would have been nice to see what all could have been lost there.
This is really tough. The Sylvanas blocks out Ragnaros. It's not even a board where you really want to play Ragnaros anyway. Guess you just lure for cards. Luring for cards it is.
Anti-Killbot draw for Nalgudon, so that gives him a little bit of health room to play with.
Indeed. I mean, ideally you'd like to get out your Molten Giants first before heal-botting, but in this spot, well, Thorson's probably just by far one of the best plays you can do here. But if you play Thorson, you're actually dead to. Okay, you play Thorson, you trade in the Sylvanas, steal a minion. Like if you don't taunt, oh, okay, never mind. He has a Sun Fury, so he probably wants a Sun Fury his Emperor Thorson. I was gonna mention his health total is a concern because he would actually die to At 15, you're vulnerable to combo innervate hero power, but with taunts up, it's not even a concern. One of the worst rag targets.
Right, I was just going to say, rag hitting one of the least helpful.
Wow, Nalgudon in a really good spot to reverse sweep here. Siphon Soul on the Ragnaros. I mean, that is just... That was an insane power play. Thorson's just gonna keep getting value. Kuhaku's out of cards. He doesn't even have combo.
Yep.
Well played.
Well played, coming out.
I concede.
And wow, there you have it. Nalgudon with the reverse sweep.
Man. He fought, he clawed, he bit his way through this finals match. He said, you know what, 2-0 doesn't scare me. I'm going to keep fighting.
Yeah, that was... I mean, I gotta say, Nalgudon's matches this whole tournament have been crazy. Are the semifinals that he played against versus Tosca, I mean, that was one of the most awesome series I think I've cast of Rusty Horn so far. Overall, wow, I mean, and then the reverse sweep in the finals definitely showed that he is an awesome player. All the fans that are in the Twitch chat right now, he deserves every single fan he has.
Definitely.
But Nalgudon, the champion of Rusty Horn number 11, he gets $30 and 10 HSWC points, and our runner-up Kuhaku gets 5 HSWC points. So no money for him, but still, if he's definitely been playing in a lot of tournaments, so maybe he could be in the running for I haven't seen him on the leaderboard, unfortunately, but you know, in the last couple weeks of Scramble, he could get up there.
Yep, it's definitely possible. You can always zerg to the top if you really dedicate it and jump up there. Indeed,
and wow, I had a lot of fun casting today. Dingo, do you have any final words?
Not a whole lot. Again, number 11 now in the books for the Rusty Horn series. Absolutely fantastic play from everyone today. We started out with 212 people registering for this tournament. Absolutely incredible. Huge amount of bracket players. And again, like Astros talked about, we do have WCS points available in the Rusty Horn series. So if you've thought about it, if you consider it, and you said, you know, I don't know if the Rusty Horn, I don't know if I feel like playing, don't know what decks to bring, sign up. I urge you now. Rusty Horn number 12 is open. Sign up now. Bring your decks next week. Doesn't matter what deck you bring. Can be a Leroy Cold Blood Rogue. Can be a standard Oil Rogue we saw tonight. Doesn't matter. Any deck, bring it. The one thing that I will tell you is, regardless of whether or not you sign up for the Rusty Horn series, there are a couple of things I need you to do. In the bottom right-hand corner of your screen right now, there's a little heart icon. I want you to click that and follow this channel. The Random Championship Series channel will bring you all of the Hearthstone tournament action you could ever want. We have 2 tournaments, Rusty Horn Series and the Argent Squire Tournament Series, which will happen next week, or I'm sorry, tomorrow and next week as well. We also have Heroes of the Storm tournaments and league tournaments. If you go onto Random Championship Series or randomcs.com, you can find all the tournament information you could ever need on our site and sign up for the tournaments through there. You can follow us on social media at twitter.com/esportsrcs and facebook.com/esportsrcs. There's a newsletter on the Facebook page. It'll get you hooked up with all of the tournament information, give you all the deadlines, all the required information. And again, Rusty Horn Series tonight, you've seen some great action. We want to see you in there. There's no barriers to entry, no requirement, don't have to be legend, don't have to pay to play, none of that. Just bring your favorite decks, sign up, and we'll see you next week in the Rusty Horn Series number 12.
Yeah, not to mention, we also started hosting the Illuminati Opens that are on a monthly basis. They happen on Sunday, and they have a $75 prize pool. So definitely no WCS points for that just of yet. They're trying to get them, but they will have them soon, hopefully. Well, actually, so it's almost BlizzCon already, so it's probably a little bit too late for that, but maybe next season we'll have it for the Illuminati Open as well. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up. It's on a Sunday. More people have time to play Hearthstone on Sunday.
Definitely.
Yeah, and wow, I mean, I'm really happy that that we now have WCS points today. I think today's series have been of much higher excitement, of much higher skill level than we've seen in the past, and it's only going to get better, and I'm excited to see what happens next week.
Absolutely.
And with that, I'm Astro, that's Dingo, and $30 make ya holla.
$30 make you holla. We'll see you next time, this time next week for the Rusty Horn number 12.